it's a bit of NSYNC. Alright, everyone. Okay, I'll wait for some more people to join and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'll explain the reason for the title of my live. What you might want to do as well, people, is I've got a backup account, the Holy One 2K23 it is. Go over, grab it, because it's got some posts on that we need to read. Okay. I've noticed a few things being said and a few stories being spinned which aren't right, so I thought I'd do it properly. I'll come on with the correct information, correct timelines. We'll go from start to finish. And the way that I wanted to do it so everyone could fully understand it rather than me sitting here and just telling you everything in one hit. We're going to do it like a court team, basically. Okay, so I'm going to give you the evidence. I'm not going to force an opinion on you. I'm not going to ask for what you should believe. I'm not going to tell you what you need to know. I'm going to show you the proof and let you make your own decision. Okay, so that's how we're going to do this. I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. Obviously, I was going. I wasn't doing any more lives. I was just going to be in boxes and in comments. I came live when I went live over the Zach situation, and then I hadn't been back on since then. The reason for me coming back live tonight is obviously just to set the record straight. Everything that's being put outside is a one-sided story at the minute, and I want to make sure that the facts are given and everyone knows exactly what's happened. Okay. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. If everyone in here who's either got a second device or can switch through, if you just want to go over to my backup account, the Holy One 2K23 it is, get yourselves over there, okay? And I'm going to refer to the evidence. The evidence is labelled, so it's like a proper courtroom in here. Exhibit 1 to 5 it is. And when I go through the timeline, I'll refer to the exhibit, tell you where it slots in, and then you can make your own judgment, yeah? Okay? So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it goes well. No, I don't think I could get someone to come to it, But you'll see what it is that I'm saying and then come back. Okay. Do you get me? You got it? Okay. So, right, we'll go from the very beginning, so we can set out what happens, okay? On the 23rd of September, and I have methodically wrote this down so I can make sure I hit every point for you so you can understand it clearly without anyone being biased, okay? On the 23rd of September, Zach went live. He was drinking throughout his live and he made some derogatory comments at the end of the evening, okay? If you all go over and look at Exhibit 1, okay? Exhibit 1 on the photo. Go and look at Exhibit 1. Exhibit 1, the timestamp should be, I think it's 23:40, something like that, okay? So after Zach's comments, okay, after that had happened, an individual messaged me, that message that you could see, which basically says that they're aware there's recordings that they've got or that they've listened to, and it's about Zach, okay? You'll then remember the day after, I came live on TikTok. So I came live, and the reason why I came live was I said to people that I was live to tell people that I was gloating that this situation had happened to Zach. If you all remember, I came on and said I was gloating. I was buzzing that the situation had happened to him. I was made up that I wanted to see his downfall. And that was the reason why I was going live. Okay. So up to now, we're correct. That's exactly what happened. Okay. On that live as well, I also said to people that I was aware that there was information that was going to come out that would portray Zach in a completely different light to the way that he said that he was, and that I hope that the ZI stood behind him when they knew the information that I knew, okay? The reason why that's relevant is because that refers to Exhibit 1, okay? And Exhibit 1 is me being told that there was recordings, so that is why it's relevant. Okay, the information that I knew existed was I'd been told that there was these recordings, and it wasn't just one, there was a couple of recordings, and the information on them recordings was derogatory for Zach. And the reason why I couldn't share that information was because they weren't my recordings to share. And I didn't know whether the person was going to do it themselves, whether the person was going to give the information to someone else. I didn't know what was going on. So from my point of view, yeah, all I knew was the recordings were out there. The information was bad. Zach was painting himself out to be an angel after what he'd done. And I basically turned around and said to him, don't be using your mental health as an excuse, because that's what he did initially. If you all remember, everyone said the same thing, okay? Right, moving forward a bit. On the 3rd of October, the 3rd of October, Zach reached out to Donna. For those of you who don't know who Donna is, Donna's Miss Red. Zach reached out to Miss Red and he asked, obviously he must have buried his beef with her, I don't know what he did, but he asked if it was possible that she could reach out to me to ask me if I'd be able to speak to him, because he understood that he probably hadn't seen things the right way. And that the reason why he'd mentioned, because if you remember, when Zach went live the next day, Zach turned around and said that he knew that the information that I had was about his dad. That's what he said. He said he thinks the information was that I was using his dad against him. And if you remember correctly, I put a post up saying that I was groomed when I was younger, so I wouldn't use anyone's childhood trauma against them. Okay? That's all factual information. That is exactly what happened from start to finish. Okay? So then after that, and after I put that post out saying about saying that about what had happened to me when I was younger, Zach reached out on the 3rd of October and said that he basically wanted to squash the beef. And the reason why he'd said that about his dad, that I'd used his dad against him, is because he'd seen Michelle. And I didn't know if he was referring to Michelle or someone else, but he'd seen Michelle write in a post that I'd been talking to his dad, which is why he'd made that assumption. However, I declined to take his number and reach out to him. I just decided that I wasn't going to speak on him no more, which is exactly what happened. I didn't talk on him anymore. After the 3rd of October, you'll go and see there's no evidence of me talking about Zach anywhere on this app. Okay? Then we get to Monday. Monday, I was in Donna's live. Obviously, you all know I'm out for Donna. I was in Donna's live on Monday. And on Monday, Donna was battling Pearl. I'm sure it was Monday. It was either Monday or Sunday. Donna was battling Pearl. Pearl said to Donna, you want to watch me live on Tuesday at 5 o'clock. It's going to be explosive. You're going to love it. I was in the comments, in Donna's side, in the comments, writing in the comments, oh, what's the tea? I need to know. And Donna said to Pearl something about MT, and she said, no, MT can't know, MT can't know. And then Donna turned around and said, you better believe it, when I come off live, MT will be on the phone trying to find out what the goss is. And it's true. So I'll refer you to Exhibit 3 in a minute, but first of all, I just want to go over Exhibit 2, okay? Exhibit 2, if you go and look at Exhibit 2, I was notified at 12, I think it's 12 o'clock, it's something like that, on the Tuesday, okay? On the Tuesday at 12 o'clock, I was notified, which is Exhibit 2 on the page, I was notified that there was going to be a live at 5 o'clock and it was going to be the recordings of Zach. So that's when I knew what it was. It was Zach's recordings that were coming out at 5 o'clock. So I then knew that the person who I'd spoke to on the 23rd of September had given the recordings to Pearl for Pearl to play. Okay? So that is all the information I know. It's all the information I knew at the time. Okay? Exhibit 3 and Exhibit 4 have been posted for this reason. Okay? People will say that the person who messaged me to tell me that the live was happening at 5 o'clock with the recordings will have been Donna or Cockapoo, because that's what they usually do. But if you look at the timestamp, the dates, you can see that their messages are different to what that message was, which proves that it wasn't them that sent me the message to say that at 5 o'clock there was going to be the recordings which were being played out. Okay? We then refer to Exhibit 5. Okay, Exhibit 5 is my DMs off TikTok between me and Pearl. As you can see from there, I have not had a conversation with Pearl since the 23rd of September. Okay? Since the 23rd of September, I haven't had a conversation with Pearl. If we look prior to that date, I hadn't spoken to her since the date that I fell out with her after she used the orangutan comments that she used. And that was the day after. I hadn't spoke to her since then. Okay? There you go. From start to finish, I hadn't had a conversation with her. I haven't got a telephone number. And that was the only DM that was there, which was from the 23rd of September. So, from start to finish, I can basically prove that I have had no involvement in Zach the Brat's dad being arranged to go on Pearl's live. It is not my style. It is not my cup of tea. There'll be people out there that will tell you that when it was happening, I was messaging people telling them I felt uncomfortable and didn't like it. I didn't want to watch it because it's not nice. Didn't like the way that the live took place. Didn't like that his dad was brought on. So that was my stance on it. So I know what happened. You can all speculate as to what you believe happened, but I've shown the proof. So I'm not asked as to whether you believe me or not. I know what happened, and that's all I came on to say. So I just thought I'd jog your memory, let you know what happened, show you a couple of posts, because you should all ask for receipts. Half of you would still call me a liar anyway, because half of you are from either Zach's side or somewhere else. But just so you also know as well, there was about 6-7 other people who knew that them recordings existed. Okay? 6-7 other people that knew them recordings existed because I'd spoken to them about them. Okay, where's the posts? What do you mean the posts aren't up? The posts are up. No, it wasn't Click actually. Angie was one of them people. So if you go and ask Angie, and I'll tell you why Angie knew about it. After Zach had made his comments that he made where he said I'd spoke about his dad and I put my post up, I'd had a conversation with Angie the day after because she was doing her FYP show, so I wanted to see if she had my post. So I'd had a conversation with Angie on the telephone, and I basically told Angie from start to finish what had happened and that there was recordings out there. If you don't believe me, go and ask Angie at any point of the conversation with me talking to her about the recordings. Did I mention Zach's dad? She will tell you no. Didn't mention Zach's dad because I had no involvement in it at all. The person you need to go and speak to is Pearl. Pearl will be able to tell you who was involved, who she had conversations with, how she arranged it. But it's not my style. It isn't my cup of tea. Okay? And I know what happened. I'm not bothered if you just don't believe me or you just do believe me. People are going to say whatever they want to say. But respectfully, I won't talk on someone's childhood trauma. It's not my thing. It's not something that I take gratitude from. It's not something that I find amusing. I don't think anyone should be talking on anyone's childhood trauma, to be fair. Full stop. Obviously, it's something that affects them and it's quite deep, isn't it? I watched, you know how uncomfortable it was when I was watching the live. I was seeing how red Zach's eyes were and it was making me feel uncomfortable. And that isn't something that I'd take part in. So I'd appreciate it if you stop saying that I did, because I didn't. What you're basically doing is you're picking up stories, different bits and bobs that have happened over the past couple of weeks when we've all been beefing, and you're just putting 2 and 7 and 9 together and coming up with nothing. And it's not really right. So if you're going to speak, at least speak on the truth. But I ain't got no part at all in Zach's dad going on Pearl's live. I do admit to knowing there was recordings, of course I do. I admit to that, I'm not denying that at all. I knew there was recordings. I told you there was recordings. And you know how you can work out that I was telling you that there was recordings as well? If you go and listen to the live that Scholars Slayer was playing earlier on, you'll hear to me refer to the fact where I keep on saying to Zach, like, go to America, go and see your mates. The reason why I was saying that was because the recording, if you listen to the recording that was played the other day about Donna, he was saying about going to see Jeffree Star. So I'd heard that bit of the recording, which is why I'd said that in my live. I'm not stupid. I haven't done anything which is out of context or beyond something which you'd say is acceptable or not. All I've got to ask you is, can anyone in here say categorically that there's anything that I've actually done to Zach? Because I haven't. There's nothing that I've done to Zach the Brat that anyone can say or prove, apart from I've listened to recordings. That's it. I've listened to recordings. Is there anything that anyone can say that I've done to Zach the Brat which could be deemed to be unacceptable, could be atrocious, could be terrible, could be awful? No, I haven't. I haven't done anything to Zach. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. There's no proof of me ever doing anything to him. No one's ever going to have proof of me doing anything to him, because I haven't. All I've done is take pleasure when he was in his downfall, and that was because of what I'd witnessed him doing to people who were in my friendship circle. And, you know, obviously I respected them at the time, so I took satisfaction, which you would all do, take satisfaction in someone's downfall after they'd been going for your mates. I did a live about it. I told you, I was honest, I didn't even lie. I came on and told you that was exactly why I was doing it, and the reason why I was doing it. But at not one point can anyone say from the start of my beef with Zach, whether it just been an argument, a message in a chat, not once can anyone say I've done anything against him. You just can't. There's no proof. No proof at all. I'm honest, I'd come on and tell you. I wouldn't be asked. I'd come on and say to you, yeah, it was me. It was me. I done it. That's what I'd say to you. I'd come on and say it was me. I organised it all because of X, Y, and Z. Because he was a twat, or because of this, because of that. I'm honest, people. Don't lie. I come and tell you, I'm not asked. It doesn't bother me. It's no skin off my nose. Do you know what I mean? But the subject, I didn't agree with it. It was not something that I agreed with. Felt uncomfortable. Didn't want to watch it. I didn't arrange any of that. That's nothing to do with me at all. I didn't even know it was happening. That's the worst thing about it. I found out the same time as you all found out. As far as I knew, there was just recordings that was being played on the live. Didn't know that Zach Stads was going to be asked to go into a box. Didn't know none of that. Okay? So, I just thought I'd come and clear it up. I'm going now anyway. Because I don't stay on live or nothing no more, but I just wanted to get my point across to show you where all the stories that people have been saying, where they actually originate from, how it started. Okay? So, just thought I'd come and clear it up. Now you can all stop saying that I had something to do with Zach's dad when I didn't. Okay? And just one last thing that I will address before I go. One thing I will address before I go is Corey played in Canadian Angie's live last night. He showed messages. Them messages, I'm quite happy for him to show again. I hope that he does. If you remember correctly, Corey, I was in Angie's live and you were asking what the tea was after the live that I just did, which is the live that I've just referred to. You were asking for the information as to what just happened and I wouldn't tell you. Told you that I couldn't tell you, but you'd love it. It'd be great. So show the messages again. I give you permission to. That's exactly what happened. And it's true, because at the time you didn't like Zach, Corey. So you didn't like him, so I was telling you that there was tea out there, you were going to love it, but I couldn't tell you what the tea was. And that's the truth. Whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. Okay, but I'm off anyway. So I'll see you all in a bit. Adios. Au revoir. Nice to see you all too.